just got out of service, and let me tell you, it was amazing. And speaking of worship, I was just talking to Miss Brandy a minute ago, and she told me that our main point today is I will worship God when I serve Him. And I know we've been talking a lot about worship lately, but you might be asking, how do I serve God? And that's a great question. Let me tell you, a lot of people ask that question, and that is why we have this lesson after all. So there are many ways to serve God. Of course, you can serve Him by singing and dancing to Him, but we also serve Him by telling others about Him, by reading our Bibles, by giving our offering at church, by volunteering and praying. And believe it or not, we serve Him by serving others. So to serve other people just means to help them and to love them. Let me read you our Bible story today. It's from Luke 7:36 through 50. One of the Pharisees asked Jesus to eat with him. Jesus went into the Pharisee's house and sat at the table. A sinful woman in the town learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house. So she brought an alabaster jar of perfume. She stood at Jesus' feet crying, and she began to wash his feet with her tears. She dried his feet with her hair and kissed them many times and rubbed them with perfume. The Pharisee who asked Jesus to come to his house saw this. He thought to himself, if Jesus were a prophet, he would know that the woman who's touching him is a sinner. Jesus said to the Pharisee, Simon, I have something to say to you. Simon said, Teacher, tell me. Jesus said, there were two men. Both men owed money to the same banker. One man owed the banker 500 silver coins, and the other man owed the banker 50 silver coins. The men had no money, so they couldn't pay what they owed. But the banker told the men, don't worry about it, you don't have to pay me. Which one of those two men do you think will love the banker more? Simon the Pharisee answered, well, I think it would be the one who owed the most money. And Jesus said to Simon, you are right. Then Jesus turned toward the woman and said to Simon, do you see this woman? When I came into your house, you gave me no water for my feet, but she washed my feet with her tears and dried my feet with her hair. You did not kiss me, but she's been kissing my feet since I came in. You did not rub my head with oil, but she rubbed my feet with perfume. I tell you that her many sins are forgiven. This is clear because she showed great love, but the person who has only a little to be forgiven will feel only a little love. Then Jesus said to her, your sins are forgiven. The people sitting at the table began to think to themselves, who is this man? How can he forgive sins? Jesus said to the woman, because you believed, you are saved from your sins. Go in peace. Wow. You know, that's pretty cool that Jesus pointed out how this woman who had done more to worship him and love him than this man who welcomed him into his own home. She served Jesus through worship, or she served Jesus through serving him, and that was her worship. We can be like this woman as well. Let me read you our Bible verse today. 1 Peter 4:10. God has given each of you a gift from his great variety of gifts. Use them to serve one another. Now, some of you may not know how you're supposed to serve, but this verse tells us that God has gifted us in some way, and we can use those gifts to serve each other. If you're gifted with speaking or making friends, then you can tell others about Jesus and even invite them to church. If you're gifted with organizing or cleaning, maybe that you can help get the services ready for each weekend that we have service. If you're gifted with speaking to children, like myself and maybe Miss Brandy, then you can work in Worship Center Kids and help serve here. There are many different ways how you can serve God and serve others. And now we know that when we serve, we worship God. Thanks, Worship Center Kids. I hope you have an amazing week.